Video 10. So I like to tell stories. And I don't know if you guys will even believe me, but maybe this will be like the life lessons that what happens in somebody's life may or may not happen, but it is what it is. I believe this to have happened to me, so I'm going to go and tell these stories. So when I was younger, grade 10, I don't know how old I would have been, 15, I think. I was actually working for Gold's Gym on McLeod Trail in Calgary, Alberta. And I was either, yeah, I think I had just finished working and then I had worked out and I was coming home. And so, if you know anything about like Calgary, it's right by McLeod Trail. It's a busy area. At that time, there was a movie meal. There was some kind of restaurant or something. So I can remember when I was walking out and I see these two people making out on a pole. Good for them, getting some action. And I look up and I see a flying saucer, a UFO, just hovering above me. Green lights, not making a sound, nothing. I look up, I look back at the couple, see if they're still making out, look back up and go, am I actually looking at this? Am I seeing this correct? And no lie, I gotta be honest, it just hovered. I don't know what the time frame was, 30 seconds, maybe a minute, I have no idea. But it jetted off without a sound, nothing. And I look over at the couple and I go, did you guys just see what I saw? They go, no. What are you talking about? I was like, uh, never mind. So I'm thinking I'm crazy. Then I see two fighter jets zoom across the the city skyline. And I was like, okay. I've never even seen fighter jets and I've never seen a UFO. For me to see them both in like the same minute, something's up. So I remember I was walking back to the bus and I had like 11 minutes and it was like 3.2 or 3.6 kilometers to my house. And I was like, fudge. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on YouTube. So I was like, fudge. And I ran home as fast as I could and I beat the bus. I run downstairs and I tell my mom and my stepdad. And they go, oh, you just worked out too hard. Go to bed. You're probably crazy, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yo, I am probably crazy. So I was like, okay, maybe that didn't actually happen. And then the only thing that saved me was the very next day on the news, there was a UFO reporting. And my mom's like, yo, this actually happened to you last night? I was like, this actually happened to me. She goes, wow, now I believe you. So here's the interesting part is even though the UFO was seen by my eyes, caught on the news, obviously fighter jets were behind there. And my parents finally like believed me. I never told anyone. I never even told my best friend. I was in high school. Let's be honest. You tell that in high school, you're probably going to get just like, I don't know, shit kicked and made fun of. Like, yeah, I went to a very rough school, so that was not happening. So now I got a second story. And everyone who knows me knows this second story, but I'm just going to tell it how it is. So 10 years ago, my life came crashing down. I broke my wrist, sprained my other wrist, broke both my elbows. I had to sell my house. Me and my ex-girlfriend, we broke up. It was pretty much my life coming down harder than hard. And so I go to my mom, and we actually go to a psychic. And the psychic, she gave me three paths, but she turned it into like one story. So I'm going to tell you how the psychic came about. So um, she goes, "Oh yeah, you're going to." Because when I asked her the questions of like, she goes, "Oh well, like what do you want to know?" And I go, "Well, because I just came out of a relationship, I'm like, am I ever going to find love ever again?" She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "You're going to find this girl, and she's got brown hair, brown eyes, and she has to be 5'1". Has to be 5'1". And I was like, I don't know. It doesn't really sound like anything that I date. And she goes, no, I could see what you date, and she's going to be 100% different than you date. And I go, so is she good looking? And she goes, no. And I go, okay, well, that doesn't really make sense. I'm like, so I'm going to go hit on somebody who's not very good looking? That doesn't make sense. And she goes, no, you're just going to meet her, and you're going to fall in love with the heart. And I go, the heart? I'm like, what does that mean? She goes, you will fall so madly in love with her that it's you don't expect anything from her. She's just the most beautiful person you've ever seen with your eyes. And I go, so she's not attractive, but she's the most beautiful person I've ever seen. She goes, yes. I go, oh, okay, so that's interesting. And then my mom goes, oh, will I ever see my son ever again? The psychic looks at me, looks at my mom, and she goes, no, he's gone forever. So here's the interesting part. Um, Today's like October 28th. So let's say like 9, 10 weeks ago, after I wrote my CFA exam, I went back to my mom's house. And when I say that this year is just full of shits, it sucks. It's like ego breakdown, spiritual awakening, midlife crisis, twin flame, horrible. So anyways, I go back and I was going to see the psychic again. Um, I've kind of talked to her since then, but I'll diverge later on when I kind of figure things out in my own life. So, anyways, I go back to my mom's house and I go, hey, like, are you going to give me a ride home back to Lethbridge? And she goes, no, your cousin's friend's coming into town. I don't know when he's going to get here, but I told him he could stay the night or stay the weekend. And I said, well, we had this plan that you were going to drive me back today. Like, I have work, I have things I have to do. She goes, oh, well, you gotta wait until next week. And I go, that doesn't work. Like, you're not paying for my bills. Like, I gotta do my own life. So, anyways, she goes, oh, well, how are you going to get home? She goes, are you going to pay for a bus or anything? I'm like, I don't have money. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, we had this all planned. And then she goes, oh, well, I could drop you off at the bus station. And so the bus station, I don't know, it was like a 6 or 7 hour wait. I just said, you know what? Whatever. I'm out. I put my bag of clothes on one shoulder, my bag of food on the other shoulder, and I hitchhiked from South Calgary, 74 plus kilometers. Did not get picked up. Friday afternoon, 28 degrees, whatever it was. Not a cloud in the sky. Friends that people who knew me in Lethbridge drove by, saw me on the highway, didn't even stop, didn't ask me if I was okay, need anything, get me to the next town. That just shows you, like, who's in your life and who's not. And I'm going to tell you right then and there, that walk, the only person who picked me up was the person who helped me out 10 years ago, where his life just came crashing down. And I'm going to tell you, 10 years ago, when I was like a dirtbag, drank a lot, slept around a lot, partied, just did bad things, he would come over, give me money, and I'd go, hey, I'm going to spend this on like women, drugs, and alcohol. And he goes, yeah, go have fun. And it's funny how life turns around because that day, that was when I knew that I walk this road by myself. And I think that everyone needs to learn that the only person you can trust is yourself. And whoever you believe in, spirits, gods, angels, guardian angels, ancestors, whoever it is, follow that faith. I'm going to tell you, they won't lead you wrong. They won't lead you wrong. But going back to that psychic, she goes, be her best friend. And this is interesting because if the twin flame or my best friend actually watches this video, they'll both know that I'm on different paths now. This is interesting because my best friend She's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. I would go for the world for her. She doesn't understand it yet, and I haven't even told her that yet. My twin flame, she's young. And I'm telling you, like, half my age. I'm 38, so she's 20. I have not touched her, kissed her, and I'm so madly in love with her. And this has been 2 years. And I'm going to tell you right now, everyone's like, oh, that's kind of weird, kind of creepy. Yeah, even for me, it's kind of weird, kind of creepy. Like, I have no ill intentions whatsoever. But I'm going to tell you, when you get into a twin flame relationship, it's horrible because it's like you look at yourself and you see like everything you don't like about yourself, but then you also look at her and you go, I've never loved you so much for no reason that anything I do, I want to be the best version of myself. And that's the only reason I'm on this journey is because 2 years ago, this is like a soul contract. I'm going to tell you, this gets crazy because I'm going to tell you the energy that I've had through this like spiritual awakening and whatnot. It's sometimes out of this world. I can tell you there was one night we go out, and no lie, I watched everyone turn and look at me. And my friends were playing pool, and the ball came off the table. And no lie, I came out of my body, could not move. And all I just saw was energy, 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 energy coming at me. And I saw everything like happening, but I wasn't there. I could not move. I was watching everything outside of my body. And then my friends come over and go, what just happened? I was like, oh, I just had an out of body experience. I can tell you with this twin flame, I can tell you I know where she is sometimes. And I've gone to my friends and go, hey, let's go so and so. And they're like, why? We never go there. Or it's a weird time. Sure enough, she'd be there. Or when she comes back into town, I go, uh-oh, she's back in town. And it's weird because I can't tell you how my energy is working right now, but I can also tell you I've become a very much of an empath. And I can pick up when people are happy, sad, lying to me. Like I'm watching like a different world happen in front of me. I'm going to tell you, maybe I'm crazy. I wish I am. I wish I was. Like I said, I have zero addictions. Oh, I'm not going to lie. I do smoke pot occasionally. That's only when I go out. So the fact that I have all these things and I'm just thinking, this is crazy. And I can't even tell you, but I'm going to tell you right now, I believe that everyone's life is already set out. The fact that this psychic told me 3 paths, and when you say, okay, well, how do you know it's on 3 different paths now? Because the first one, I was supposed to end up in Australia. I met that girl, 5'1", brown hair, brown eyes. I got jealous. I screwed it up. That path ended. That would have been the happiest. I even asked the psychic, and she goes, ah, if you're in the second path, good luck. She goes, you have so many life lessons that you have to learn. And this is what I'm trying to say is that maybe you believe it or not, good and bad, hey, choose your side. I'm walking down the middle. I have no problem with that. I don't care if you're on the good side. I don't care if you're on the bad side. Respect me, treat me good. I'll give you 1,000,001. That's how I am. I come from both sides of the world. But I'm going to tell you, you sign up for this, and I'm either on the second or third path. The second path means I'm either following my twin flame, which is the truest form of love, which, if you look at astrology, her sign and my sign won't last. Nothing looks on paper, we are 100% different. I follow God. She does her thing. It is what it is. My best friend, she's beautiful. She's just having a really hard time right now. And she doesn't understand that I will be there for her. But she doesn't know that either. So this is going to be interesting because at the end of the day, you got to learn to love yourself first. Love yourself first, the rest will happen. So God bless. Take care. You gotta take your losses before you become the boss. Try to be 1% better. Like let's do this together and I'm just blessed. Thank you so much for everything.